Friday, second last day of the year. Kesho tunafunga mwaka. Sunday we jump into a new year, new season. You know, we will have 1 or 2 days to celebrate. Yeah, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And then we hit the road running again. But sometimes a season like this can be a very discouraging season because you look back at 2022 and you're not seeing anything you've done. You're not seeing anything you've accomplished. The only thing you did is you gained a year. And you're thinking, should I even try again? Is it too late? That's what we want to talk about today. I get to hang out with a good friend. He's a life coach. He's a motivational speaker. He's one man who can inspire you. Jeff Nthiwa, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, Pastor James. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
It is good to have you. Every time I talk to you, I feel like I can take over the world.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm excited to have you on this day. Karibu sana.
Asante.
You know, even as I said the introduction, for some people, they can be at a place where they're looking back at the year and they're not seeing much they've been able to do. And so I'm just wondering, even as we get into this conversation, how do you deal with that disappointment that can come at a time like this, where you feel like I haven't achieved?
Yes, it's really the mindset of New Year resolutions and, bringing so much in 1 year, because we think we can achieve so much in 1 year, and then at the end of the year, disappointments after disappointments. My advice has always been this: instead of looking at 1 year resolutions, why not look at 10 years resolutions and then use the end of the year as a reflective point where you're reflecting, how close am I? Okay, so there's a research done on people that do, the long-term goals and then revise them at this point. Actually, one, they don't have such low self-esteem, because every time you're revising your goals and thinking, I didn't achieve it, you think there's something wrong with me. Okay, so it's very discouraging. The reason is we always overestimate what we can do in 1 year. Always.
Yeah.
If you ask someone, what do you want this year? I'm going to buy, 2 cars, a house by the beach, get married. Hello, it's just 1 year, 12 months. So overestimation is a factor here. The other thing is we underestimate what we can do in 10 years, in 5 years. If you ask someone, what do you want to do in the next 10 years? In fact, most people will have no idea. But if you ask them about 1 year, they will tell you so many things that they want to do. This is the year of this. This is the year of this. How about you look at life in the next 10 years and every year? So that the end of the year, it's a reflection about how close you are to your goal.
Very, very true.
Yeah. So to me, that's the cue.
What about those people who may feel like, I've been trying to achieve this thing for such a long time?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe it's too late for me.
Yeah.
What would you say to a person like that?
You see, the too late is a mindset. It's a mindset. When you tell yourself something, Pastor James, you tell yourself it's too late. It's too late for what? We've seen so many even instances and testimonials from the Bible of people that had thought it's too late to get something. Okay, starting with the father of faith, Abraham. It's too late. Yeah. It's too late. It's never too late. And sometimes we are thinking through the human eyes of the ego. Is because when you set a goal, I tell people, invite God in your goal. There's a part of God there's a part that God plays that you can never play. There's your part that God will never play for you. Okay, so this is the action part and all that. But the inspiration part, sometimes so when you are setting a goal, you're inviting God for inspiration. When something has not gone the way it's supposed to go, you thought it's going to go back to God. Okay, inspiration again. It's always good to revise the goal and get inspiration. What people call failure sometimes is actually just God guiding you in a different direction. So the thing is, if you want to always be moving towards your goal, number one, be sensitive to the voice of God, because you're bigger than the goal. You're bigger than the goal. God is not interested in you just, achieving stuff. And God is interested in you as a person, growing, becoming better person, thinking different. And so the focus is you. Did you change this year? Did you? So some of us feel like we failed, but did we grow? Because some of us, our failure is actually working for us.
Oh,
It can work for you that you didn't get the goal sometimes because that grew you. Did you grow? So the ultimate goal is you, is not really the goal itself. It's about you. Are you a better person? Because maybe I failed, I set 5 goals and they didn't work, but my reasoning is different. My emotional mastery is different. My relationship, I've made decision about relationships. I will never go back to that state of mind ever. Okay, am I successful? Yes, I am, although I didn't get the goal. So it's not really about the goal, it's about who do you become.
okay.
So
When you say that,
yeah.
it reminds me of something we talked about this week, of how important it is to look back at the year and just review.
Yes.
Which is what you're saying. I may not have attained the goal, but with what I was able to do, what did I attain?
Yes.
I've grown in my thought process. I've built up some relationships that were not there. And I think sometimes when we fail to celebrate those small wins, then we beat ourselves down too much.
Yes. And it's working against our confidence. Okay, it's working against, even God is giving us a gift of new year, but do you have the strength, the tenacity, all that it takes for you to take this mountain? Do you have it? Because if you talk yourself down before the battle begins, then really we've lost the war. So it's about, don't be the person that puts yourself down. And we do this every time we look at, oh, I was supposed to do 1, 2, 3, then it didn't work. And so I'm a failure. You see, so when you define yourself, you adopt an identity, you've locked yourself to that identity, and go to 1 year, 5 years, you're the same person. Okay, so the issue, let go of judgment. That's what I would tell people. Let go of the judgment on yourself. You may not have achieved what you wanted to achieve, but is there something else substantial that maybe is not visible? Because most of the time we judge success with things that we can see, but success is more than that. Success is fulfillment. Okay, maybe in your career you didn't do so well. Is there another area of your life that you did so well? Maybe in your spirituality, this is the year you really connected to God. What is the value of that? Do you know the monetary value of that? Some of us only look at success in terms of money. There are other areas of life, spirituality. There are some of us who are very successful in terms of spirituality, others in terms of health, others in terms of mindset. Okay, all those are areas of success. Others in terms of relationship. We have very beautiful, deep relationships. And so just because you have money, you're not more successful than this person that is building. It all depends on focus.
Okay. Sometimes we have this dreams or these goals that we are pursuing, but we are always afraid to pursue them because they're not what we are doing currently.
Yes.
Maybe it's even a change of career. You know
Yes.
that famous question: if money was not an issue, what would you be doing with your life? And people have all sorts of things that they say they would be doing, which is not what they're doing currently. And so I'm just wondering, for that person who has this dream that they have been thinking about and dreaming about, but they're so afraid to jump out, and they've come to the place where they're thinking, maybe it's too late for me to even change from this to this.
Yes.
I've turned a year older. Now I'm on the 4th floor. Now I'm on the 5th floor. I'm approaching 6th floor. Now I'm in my 30s. What would you tell an individual like that?
They, you, yeah, I'm privileged to have gone through a transition myself. Okay, so I was a full-time pastor and transitioned into full-time coaching, which was a transition. Transitions are not easy. because as a full-time pastor, everything was taken care of. You have your rent is paid, your family is taken care of by the church. All you're doing is actually minister to actually a place where you don't know the next thing, you don't know what is the next step and how to feed your family. Okay, so those are points of major growth. Transitions are points of major growth where you really must change your perspective. You must change what you've always known yourself to be. You must be willing to let go of that and allow something new. Be fearless. Because in times of transition, fear is the greatest enemy. Fear and worry that things will not work out for you because you're coming from a place of certainty. Certainty is a human need to feel sure of where bread will come from tomorrow, to feel sure that you're going to feed your family, to feel sure that things are going to work out the way they have always worked out. But then uncertainty is where God works, because that's where you can learn to trust. And most of the time, with certainty, if everything you need is there, then you don't need faith. You don't need faith. So these points, there are points that for me, I was stretched in terms of trusting God, I'm telling you. Because I was coming out at a point where coaching was new. People used to call me swimming instructor because they didn't know what is this coaching about. Okay. Someone actually paid me. Yeah, someone paid me, Pastor James, and asked me, where's your swimming pool? And they have already paid me. And I'm like, I don't even know how to swim at that point. Okay. So and I'm coming into this profession where people don't know what it is about, and you're telling them you can actually pay me, I can help you shift your mindset. Fear, over caution, all that came in, and the thing that really kept me on the ground is faith and trust. That the next level is where God is calling me. You got to believe that. You got to believe that the next level is where God is calling you. And if you have a sense of disbelief, then deal with that sense of disbelief in your heart. And then from there is stepping out. Don't wait to be sure.
Oh, stepping out.
Yeah.
Jeff, if somebody was to ask you in your season of transition, what's the greatest lesson you learned? What would you tell them?
Oh my. Let me tell you, when I usually go devotional and just look back, I tell God, thank you so much that I leaped into where you are calling me, because the fear of failure for me was big. Like I felt, oh my God, what if? The mind is very interesting, part of our body, because the mind is created to keep you safe. It's created to keep you in a safe place. Anything that is uncertain, the mind will resist. So in my mind, I was like, what if? What if this is your way down? What if you're going down? Your enemies, your village elders, people will celebrate. Those who don't like you, you're going down. That voice was constantly there, Pastor James. But then there's this voice that was telling me, what if this is your opportunity to actually reach a level you've never been in your life?
Wow.
And I just leaped. And I went into coaching, got certified as a coach, started training coaches, populate the country with life coaches, because I believed God was calling me to impact agents of change. So you got to believe. That belief. I am most proud of believing in God in such a time where I was alone. No one to encourage me. Those times when it's only you, right? People don't understand you. How do you live a full-time ministry where everything is, paid for, and God has really, truly called you here? Why? People call me crazy. People call me, out of my mind. Family members even. So there's a time only you can make that decision. There's a time you cannot even listen to your mentor. You got to listen to God. And that moment, once you hear God, I'm not saying when you hear God it's going to be easy. It's going to be tough. But Obedience is what is required. Step out.
Yes.
5 years, 10 years from, forward, you look back and say, thank God that I obeyed here. Thank God that I stepped out.
Right. Shortly, we'll talk about, what do you do with goals? You had set goals for 2022, you didn't accomplish them. As we look forward to moving into the new year, what do you do? Do you set new goals? Do you keep working on these goals? How do you, how do you work out that? We'll talk about that shortly. We are on Mind Friday. Today we are talking about It's Never